At some point, he's not gonna wanna deal with this shit,
Right.
you know, that
Even if he do know where it come from, some men are just turned off from even dealing with that. You know what I
'cause
mean?
why is that his responsibility?
Right.
You
Right.
know, I know for me, if you're coming to me with any type of past trauma, take that shit to
Right.
your therapist.
Right.
Like,
Right.
yo, do not. Like, there's
Right.
only so much I'm like, all right, but like,
It's a
don't roll
difference.
over. This ain't no
Yeah.
boost minutes. All right. You're not rolling over into like, no, you're not rolling over
It's a
trauma over
difference.
here.
What's up with y'all? This is the Best Way to Smoke podcast, and you smoking with Big J.
And C Pop, your professional hype woman. Make sure y'all hit the like, subscribe, tell all your friends, and tap in with us.
Yes, yes. Please believe. Make sure y'all do that though. And you know, we missing one of the amigos, one of the three amigos. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Serpo, you will be missed,
Yes,
but you
yeah,
know.
yeah. We gotta handle that business. You know what I mean? But look, we thank everybody that tap in and tune in with us. We definitely appreciate y'all. And before we get into the show, we always do the Best Way to Smoke tip. And this tip, I got a tip for the ladies and for the men, right? So the tip for the man is like
Hold on, before Big J wouldn't even tell me this tip, so I'm a little bit nervous
it's a good
where
one though.
he's going with
It's a
this.
good one
All
though.
right, go
It's
ahead.
okay. The tip for the man is protect women. You know, like be there for women. You know, protect them. It's Women's Month, so we want to highlight women and stuff like that, though. So,
Okay.
and on that note, I want to say to the women, I know a lot of you women have to be strong out there, and be put in situations to where you feel like you got to do a man's job and shit, though. But when you meet someone and when you're dealing with a man, that's a man, let him be that. You know what I'm saying? And accept the love, the help, and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? And the protection. Don't feel like you gotta fight and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Let's get a round of applause for that, because
That's real though.
you had my anxiety on 10 for a second. But I will yes, definitely. I love that. I love
Yep.
that, because you know what, like, ladies, because you have to sometimes come in and do your own job on top of maybe a man's job, just handle everything in your household, whether you have kids or you're single or whatever the case may be. You might feel like you got the world on your shoulders, but when a man steps in, it might seem as like a threat at first, because you're like, what's his intentions, right?
Yep.
But and like, after a while, you get like a little nervous about being a little vulnerable coming from like a strong woman. Like, you
Right.
you get a little nervous about being vulnerable, because you might have had like once or twice where you let that guard down to be vulnerable,
Right.
and you realize it was some bullshit. So the
Yeah.
fact that you can like, I just cheers, round of applause for every woman who's just allowed yourself to be vulnerable, for a man to step into that space and be like, all right, you
Right.
don't got to do this shit alone. All right, like, I'm like, you are safe now. I feel like
Right.
that's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. I want to say, like, lack of protection is like my biggest pet peeve.
Right.
Like, one
Yeah.
of my biggest. Like, I don't care if you're my homie. I don't care if you're like, like, it's
Right.
not like feeling safe in a space, whoever I'm in,
Right.
whoever I'm with. Like, I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Right. Yeah, that's real shit though. A woman should definitely be able to feel safe around man that she know, even man she don't know, just to be able to feel like ain't shit finna happen. And if something
Right.
do come, you know what I mean, is somebody there that's there to protect me. And then,
Right.
digging into the relationship. That's why I think this was the perfect tip. You know what I'm saying?
That's why you
'Cause-
didn't tell my ass. I was nervous. I was like, oh.
You know what I'm saying? But like really digging into that, like
Right.
something you said just said though, as far as a woman being able to just be vulnerable again.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
maybe dealing with somebody and it don't work out, to just kind of have the strength to be like, damn, do I really want to do this again?
Right. You know what? Like, when for all those who don't know, I came to Cali like 3 years ago, about a
Right.
little over 3 years ago. And as I was getting down to like the time was getting shorter, I was like,
Right.
damn, I'm really about to move across the country. my one of my best friends told me, like, "Listen, go into it like it's either gonna work or it won't.
Right.
And either way, like, you took that chance of, like, is this for me or not?"
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, when, like, I feel like women friends are different from like guys and their friends because like we are emotional with each other. We
Mhm.
confide in each other. We give each
Mhm.
other advice. We're like, there's certain standards we hold each other up to as friends.
Right.
So when like we confide in our friends, we're just like, it just I don't know. We're harder on each other because we expect a lot from our like female friends. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Where guys could just be like, all right,
Whatever. Right. Right.
right, like, guys will be guys,
Yep.
but even going into relationship wise,
Right.
like, it's either gonna work or it won't. Like, don't be hard on yourself for giving your all
Right.
because you were doing what was genuine at that time.
Right.
As long as you're true to you and true to the situation, be genuine. Like, fuck it. Like, if it don't work, it don't work. That's their fault. The
Right.
other person's fault for not realizing your worth or like where you stood at that point. Like, not everyone's gonna be healthy in the head. That's okay.
Right. Right. And I
That's
think
okay.
a lot of relationships probably go through a twist with a woman not feeling protected when
Mhm.
the man and the woman is dealing with trauma. You know, both
Mm.
people might be coming out of a situation that wasn't good for neither one of them. So it's kind of like, damn, I like you, but damn.
Trauma bonding is a motherfucker. Yo, trauma bonding is
Yeah.
something else, man.
Yeah.
It is something else. It is very real.
Yep.
It's very real. Like, and And, like, going back to, like, when a woman is able to feel, like, safe and protected and vulnerable, I feel
Mhm.
like it allows the guy to be that. But,
Most def-
even sometimes men are like, "And you know, do I wanna make this sacrifice for this woman? I got
Right.
screwed over by the last one." Maybe they have an unhealthy relationship with their mother,
Yep.
or they're just like, "Ah, she's holding back, so I'm holding back." You gotta understand, not every woman's gonna just right away, like, give you
Right.
her all.
Yep. Yep.
So, it's like,
It
yeah,
take
she's
time.
gonna
Yeah.
hold back. Do you want a woman to just give you her all right away?
Nah, it would. Yeah, it wouldn't be. Yeah, it wouldn't be trusted. Like,
Y
which? Why you?
Right,
Yeah, like,
right,
damn.
like, which
Slow down. That'll make you kind of be like, damn. Wait, hold on.
Right. So, like, when women are, like, a little standoffish, like, it's okay to be patient with him, and if he's not patient with you,
He ain't the one. Yeah.
go ahead, move on over,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. You definitely gotta have patience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially as a man, because you know, like coming up and just say if you sleeping with a lot of different women and such stuff like that
Mhm.
though. You know what I mean? And then you might get to a woman that's like just on a whole different level
Mhm.
of not willing to just give it to you right away. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You got to work for it, and the work could just be, making phone calls, picking up, going to
Mhm.
dinner, having deep conversations and
Holding your
shit like
word.
that. Right, staying to
Certain
your word
things.
and stuff like that
Mhm.
though. And a lot of men be in a rush just to pop, you
Right.
know,
To
just to
Right.
get to
Keep
the
it
do or
100.
whatever, you know what I mean? And then that'll be it though. But yeah, that's just definitely was a dope tip though. You know
You
what I
know what
mean?
I'm saying?
Oh, every
So,
day.
like, and as far as, like, going for the feeling protected part, right?
Right.
Because and this is for the ladies, because I'm always team estrogen over here. I'm
That's right.
biased.
That's right.
You know, if you feel like, because I feel like there's also a point where, say, if you're dealing with someone who might be unhealthy,
Right.
and it could be both ways, because if a woman's used to like unhealthy, like they don't even know they're seeking that, or
Right.
that's what
Right.
they're attracting, or they're
Yep.
letting their boundaries slip
Yep.
because, of what they see, what they're used to, with their families. Like, there's so much stuff that comes into play,
Yep.
you know? But then they come across someone and you're like, this is like, it's okay to state your boundaries. Like, yo, this is what I'm expecting. Like, I don't really feel safe around you,
Yeah.
you know? And if they're like, "Oh, well, if you were my girl, it would be different." Or if it was like this, then I would be like that. Nah, you either have it or you
Or
don't,
you don't.
sir.
Yeah.
Like, you either have it or you don't. Like, I could be around someone's presence and like, if I'm out with my man, I
Right.
expect my man to protect me and my friends.
Facts.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
agree.
Not a lot of women are the same.
Right.
They'll be like, "Why are you worried about her and her and her?"
Right.
And that's a trauma response. We'll get through that.
Right.
But
right,
for me, I expect the man, whoever it is, whether it is a family member, my man, or whoever, whatever male figure who's here, like I expect that certain type of protection and respect for
right.
me
I,
and my friends,
right,
because I don't want to bring my friends around a situation that might be like where they feel like, because I know how I would feel.
right.
So it's just like they either got it or they don't. Don't like go for the, oh well, if like, nah, like you don't have it, sir.
See, and then
You don't have it.
a lot of people, men and women, pretend in the
Yeah.
beginning. You know,
Yeah.
like put on a show.
Mhm.
Like this is what it is. And then once you settle in, though, it's like
You get the
it's something
real.
totally totally different. And then you
The
kind of
heat
be
come off.
like what the fuck? What did I? But
Right.
by then it might be too late because you might have that connection on whatever level that's just like you enjoying that connection. But then it's
Right.
still certain things that's like
That
that's
unravels.
like damn. But I think in those kind of situations, everybody should just be honest and communicate. You
Absolutely.
shouldn't hold on to anything that can help your relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And um whoever that is about, whether man or female, I think they should be able to take it. The person should be
Yeah.
able to listen to their partner or whoever they trying to deal with or
Right.
dealing with and to have an understanding. You know what I'm saying? And not
Right.
always make it like it's me against you or
Right.
this is why I did this. You know what I'm saying? No,
Mhm.
just listen to what I'm saying and take it in. You know what I
Right.
mean?
I'm sure there's always a reason why, but like listen to comprehend.
Hmm.
First.
Yep.
If you're like, okay, like,
Serpo Jr. You know what I'm
right, yo,
saying?
I wish Serpo was here because he
On
would have been
everything.
popping
On
his
everything.
stuff.
On
He would already
everything.
cut in like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Oh, for
Man, but
real.
like, no, for real, listen to comprehend because
Yep.
it's just you never like you could when you listen to comprehend, you feel like okay, you might be able to see and like kind of feel okay, where is this coming from?
Yeah.
It might not have nothing to do with you.
Right.
Like when you talk about a woman, like in order for a woman to be vulnerable, you gotta break brick by brick
Yeah.
down sometimes,
Hmm.
and ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Like, but just being able to like be in a space where you can be soft.
Right.
So if you feel like you're in that certain space, realm of protection, because
Right.
shout out to Women's History Month, it's our month.
Shout out. Shout out.
So being it like, and once you feel like you got to give respect where it's due,
Yep.
you got to give respect where it's due. So if someone's putting in the work, if they're like, all right, like these are your triggers, this is like, okay, this might not be what she's used to.
Right.
She is out here hustling because she has
Has
to.
to.
So
Yeah.
now that she's here, she don't gotta feel like that. She don't gotta feel like in hustle mode, survival mode, go mode. Like providing that space of protection and just like where you can like voluntarily be vulnerable.
Yep.
That's so important for women. Like I can't even tell you. That's like I'm glad you brought that up because that's like my biggest pet peeve. I'm like,
Yep.
mm-mm.
Yep.
I'll be quick to do like the Irish exit in a second. Like I don't know if y'all know what that is,
Yeah.
but that's like a I'm going to
Yeah.
the
I heard
bathroom
that. And be
and
gone.
be gone. Like the extensive goodbyes,
Yeah.
no, like
Yeah.
no. I'll be like, all right, let me take care of this phone call real quick. Like,
Yep.
mm-mm.
And speaking like, from a man's point of view, a man should be able to be vulnerable too. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? And with a woman. You know
right,
what I mean? And I've seen so many times where a dude might try to communicate something, you know what I'm saying, and get something off,
mm-hmm.
and the female be like, oh bitch ass nigga, this nigga try to
Damn.
tell me his whoopty whoop whoop whoop. You know what I'm saying? And all that kind of stuff though. And even if it's not to that extent of a
Right,
rejection of you trying to, express
right,
your emotions or how you feel, it kind of shuts a man down though from
right.
it though. So it's like, okay, you don't want to hear me, but it's somebody out there that will listen to me though.
That part,
You know what
there's
I mean?
always someone who will.
Yep.
There is always someone who will. And you know what? I could imagine how much it takes for a man to break
To
that
break. Yeah.
that down and be vulnerable like that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Nigga
Like
start stuttering like, hey, but that.
you know what I'm saying? You could and then for the women to just say what you were like dreading her to say,
Yeah.
like, "Oh, this motherfucker." Like,
Yeah.
like that
Yeah.
I could only imagine like how stressful that could be.
Yeah,
I feel like it's just a cycle of trauma
yeah,
that's just like someone got to stop it.
yeah. Like I had a homie, you know what I'm saying? He rest in peace now though, but I had a homie, he used to go through traumatic situations, you know what
Mhm.
I'm saying, with his woman and stuff like that. And she used to be like, nigga, stop bitching.
Mm.
In front of the homies and stuff
Mhm.
like that though. And then I used to be like, damn, you know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? I'll be like, I can't deal. I could deal with nobody like that though, because it'll make you leave.
Right.
Like get the fuck on and shit
Right.
though. You know what I mean? Well, me, I'll be like, I'm out of here. Man, I can't talk to you. Oh
Right.
shit. I'm
So right, right. But let me tell you guys a little quick story. Not gonna mention no names, but I had a homegirl. It was more like a homegirl of a homegirls, whatever. And we were out having a good time. Her man shows up, whatever the case is. I don't know if she had too many drinks or whatever the case was,
right,
but she started calling her man out his name. Real calm dude, real chill dude. I don't know what happens behind closed doors, not my
right,
business,
right,
but he seemed real calm and just like, just trying to like whatever she wanted at that point, like he was just there to make sure she was straight with her friends,
right,
But when things just kind of maybe didn't go her way at the point or that like at that instance,
right,
she starts calling him out his name, like, again, like how you were just saying, oh, don't be da 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 da.
right,
Like,
right,
and it was like me and my homegirl had to kind of pull her aside to check her a little bit, like on some love. Like, I would never call another woman out in front of like her man,
right,
but
right,
like on some like, listen, like don't be calling out his name like that.
right, right.
Like not in front of us. Whatever happens behind closed doors, that's your guys' business, not my business.
How
Like,
did she take y'all telling her that?
um, she took it very, very well
That's cool.
because it was more like listen, because me being just a woman
Right,
and kinda knowing her a little bit, like, and then her friend, like, my our mutual friend really knowing her, we
right.
knew where that response came from.
Okay.
So it's just like, "Sis, you're not in that same predicament no more."
Right.
Like, this is a completely
Oh,
different
so it came
day
from
and
another situation.
absolutely,
Right.
absolutely. Like,
That's
I'm
that
talking
trauma.
right, and I'm talking about all she's used to.
Right.
And it's just like, you're not in that position no more.
Right.
You're not even with the same, not even on the same spectrum of the same type of
Same.
dude.
Right. Right.
So as far as it like, and I could see like, you could almost, I don't know if you have someone so close to you, you see kind of their anxiety kind of going up, or you could see them kind of off, and you're like, are you good? A little
Right.
bit. Like,
Right.
I was kind of sensing that, but I'm like, oh, we've been drinking.
Right.
But then that happened. So it was just kind of like, girl to girl, like, listen, I understand where it comes from. He might not.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? He might not, and he might not. At some point, he's not gonna want to deal with this shit.
Right.
That
Even if he do know where it come from, some men are just turned off from even dealing with that. You know what
because
I mean?
why is that his responsibility?
Right. Right.
I know for me, if you're coming to me with any type of past trauma, take that shit to
Right.
your therapist.
Right.
Like, yo,
Right.
do not. Like, there's
Right.
only so much. I'm like, all right, but like, don't
It's a
don't roll
difference.
over. This ain't no
Yeah.
boost minutes. All right, you're not rolling over into like, no, you're not rolling over trauma over here.
It's a difference in just expressing what you probably have went through
Right,
versus putting me through it.
right.
You know what I'm saying? And hell yeah, ain't no rolling over around this
There ain't no
motherfucker. You
rolling
know what
over
I'm saying?
minutes, all right? Like, we
Man.
upgraded to Verizon around here. Like, fuck out of here. But it's like, it was nice to have that just woman like accountability, like without it turning left. Like, hey,
Mhm.
and then like I don't know how like I don't know what really sat with her like after
Right.
that, but it was just like I understand why you might feel that way, and I understand why you're like in a little bit of a panic because this is new for you. This type of healthy is
It's
new for
new.
you.
Yeah.
But being on the outside looking in, this looks kind of healthy.
Right.
So
Right.
it's just like
Give it a
give it
chance.
a
You know what I'm
chance.
saying?
Like, you're just like, you might look at him like, oh, this man is trying to control me. Like, and he's actually just trying to lead the situation
Right.
so you don't have to
Right.
worry about much. And if there's something that might turn you off or trigger you, express that to your man. Like,
Right.
listen, like, I
That's the
don't
best way
know.
to
This is
do
what
it.
I'm used to.
Yeah.
Right. Cause he might be like, all right. And like know how to maneuver around that.
Yep.
If
Yep.
he ain't getting it the first, second time you're explaining it, then all right, well, and there's a problem. Like,
Well,
but as far as that extra, like,
cause
I'm
can't
just
nobody read nobody mind. So to express yourself openly, it makes it a lot better versus keeping shit in and moving and you thinking a motherfucker should just know what it is. It's not
no,
like that though.
no. I'm an over communicator.
Yeah.
I would rather over communicate what I'm feeling or just what I'm thinking. Anything like call it I talk too much. I don't care. Like I'm just an over communicator. I'd
Yeah.
rather know than it to be like, oh well, you should have. No, I should have nothing. I'm not a mind reader.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was nice to have that accountability amongst women to be like, all right, like because you want your friends
Mhm.
to be in something healthy. You want
Yep.
them to be feel protected and in something good. And like he might not be used to the situation or maybe he is, who knows,
Mhm.
but like he could either get on or fuck around and cheat. So it's just like you pick your path.
Pick
You
your
want
back.
this to be
Yeah.
healthy? You want
Yeah.
him to get on or cheat? Like what you
Yeah.
want?
Cause that's the only option.
That's what they do.
That's the only
Not
option.
no disrespect.
No, but that's real shit
Right,
though. You know
right.
what I'm saying? And I think with with being married, you know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
you go a little harder though. For when you're dealing with situations and shit like that versus to just turn away from it.
Can we give an applause for Black love real quick? Applause for Black love real quick.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
to see it.
On the real.
I love to see
You
it.
just kind of
Okay.
go you kind of go a little harder though. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
because from what they say, you're supposed to. You're
Mhm.
not supposed to just, treat it like it's a boyfriend and girlfriend type thing. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And even on that note, though, I know a lot of relationships that's not with people that's not married though, that have strong bonds and then
Mhm.
been together for a long time though. So it don't necessarily take being married.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if you are married, I just believe that, if you're going through something in your marriage or whatever,
Mhm.
do whatever you can to try to fix it before you end it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Give it a try.
Right. And then honestly, that's where the whole because I don't want females to come for me in these comments. That's where the whole like holding each other accountable comes from. It's like you
Yeah.
want to see your friend happy. You want to see like, yo, work this out.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily saying you're wrong, but it's like, was that a good look? Maybe not. Like, do
Mhm.
you feel from the outside looking in, was it what you might have thought? I don't think so. Like, and it's all right, like it's all right to have. And I'm one who expects my friends to hold me accountable.
Right.
I don't ever want no yes man next to me.
Nah. Hell
No,
no.
because then it's just like, where am I going with this?
Right.
And my friends will. My day ones, they will be the first one to be like they'll have my back in public,
Right.
but in private, bitch,
Man.
what was
Man, what the
that?
fuck was that? Huh? That's
Yo,
how it's supposed to be though.
it should be like that. Not everyone is accepting to that, but like I am. If I'm like, was I tripping or like, do I look all right? Is like, do I got lipstick on my teeth? You better be like, nah, you look crazy, or you
Man.
was tripping, or what was that? Like,
Yeah.
hold me
Yeah.
accountable,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
all I want is some growth.
Yep.
Like that is like I feel like
Yep.
that's everybody's
Yep.
go to is just growth,
Yep.
no matter what it is. So like having that strong foundation of friends with you,
Yep.
family members, whoever is they say you're the five people you mentioned
Mhm.
that are closest to you
Yeah.
are the most influential people. Sorry, that's the tequila in in your life.
Yep. Yep.
So
Yep.
like if
Yep.
if no one in the top five people you talk to, if they're not helping you with some type of growth and not like tangible stuff, like
Yeah.
just
Just
words,
period. Yeah.
period,
Period. Yeah.
period, then you need to find a new
It's
circle.
like Sugar Free said though. That nigga said you hang around 9 broke niggas, you'll be the 10th. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically what Pop's saying. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And just in another way. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you are like the company that you keep. And if you're around people that don't hold themselves accountable and can't
Right.
hold you accountable, then like what
Right.
are you around them people for? Because it's not beneficial. Especially
Right.
as you get older. When you younger and shit though, you might have them associates of people that you hang around just for whatever reason though.
Right.
But as you grow, you know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people tend to start to recognize that shit though. You know what I mean?
I feel like it comes more it's like you might like subconsciously recognize it in a way, you might not know what it is,
Right.
but when you're first growing with people versus growing apart, I would say, like, when early 20s, like, mid-20s, when I started growing apart from certain people, it was
Yeah,
so heartbreaking for me.
yeah.
I was
Oh, for
just
real?
it was heartbreaking for me.
Yeah,
Yeah, because 'cause I'm just like, "Damn, I've known" like, you start to put time on it, you start to put experiences on it. You're like,
yeah,
"Damn, I went through this with this person. I've known this person for this long."
yeah.
Like,
Right.
we
It's a
went
little
through
more
all
emotional for
right,
women.
it's a little okay, it's a little bit more emotional for women
Right.
again because
Yeah.
we
Which
expect
is
a
a
little bit
beautiful
more.
thing. Yeah. Ain't nothing
Right,
wrong
so
with
it's
it.
just like you start shedding people from your life and you're like, "Dang, like, we can't work this out at all."
Right.
Sometimes you can't. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And, like, all respect and best wishes to those people because maybe I wasn't the person for you,
Right.
as a friend and vice versa. Like, it could like, as long as there was growth out of it, I think it's a
Something you
beautiful
could
thing.
take from the
Right.
relationship. Yeah.
Right, and then the whole, "Oh, you just looking to gain something." I should gain something
Facts. That's 100 though. You know what I'm saying?
to be 100,
Yeah,
because like
and the motherfucker ain't just talking about money. You should gain
right,
something from a relationship with
right,
anybody that you have. You know what I'm
right,
saying? Whether it's perspective, an idea,
right.
anything. You know what I'm saying?
My top 5 people that I associate with so closely
Yeah.
it's never been about money. They probably have
Yep.
never given me a dollar.
Yep.
They've given me way more than a
Yep.
dollar.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And,
Yep.
like and vice versa, and I just feel like it's just you are the company you keep, and that's just is what it is.
That's a fact.
I
That's a
think that's a
fact.
great best, tip of the day.
Yeah, yeah.
You
It
know?
wasn't nothing to worry about though. So look, I got a question for you though. Like just say, weed is legal, some jobs be tripping and shit like that though. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? But just say if you work for a stressful job, and you got a break, they let you
Mhm.
smoke cigarettes.
Right.
Wouldn't it be cool if they would let you smoke weed on your break? You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I got a great answer for that. Everybody in customer service should be allowed to smoke a blunt on their
Man,
fucking break.
just
Yo,
imagine how the
everybody in
man.
customer service. Listen, I'm talking about like the nightlife industry, the food
Yep,
industry, the retail industry, the whoever is dealing with people
yep.
and you that type of person, smoke your damn joint. Like maybe a couple puffs. Like I don't even know.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I mean, don't get me canceled around here, but like it is shit. Like, I mean, I get it if you're operating machinery or if like you're a
Certain jobs
cop
and
or
shit, yeah.
certain jobs or whatever. But like, listen, I've worked in a lot of like, dealing like hospitality, dealing with people or whatever it is. Like always dealing with people.
Yeah,
I've met like a good portion of people who operate the best off of some bud. Let me tell
facts,
you. Like
facts.
you're just where the point to the point I remember I was a teenager and I remember like my boss telling a coworker, "Go on break. Don't like smoke a blunt. Come back after your blunt.
Right,
Like
right,
do not come in here with that attitude.
right.
Do not come in here with
Yeah,
that
yeah,
attitude." They came back to and they always worked harder.
yep.
Don't know what it is, but I mean,
Because it
do it
puts you, it'll put you in a pleasant space to where,
right.
maybe you just focus a little bit more, on what
Right.
you're doing. You
Mhm.
just a little happier. You know what I mean? You in a happy place. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a problem. You already know what you got to do.
Right. Don't come in all like flat and zooted, but I
Yeah.
mean like I try to stay in my own lane when it comes to stuff like that. I don't like if I smell it on people, I don't say nothing. If I like
Right.
whatever, if you come in with good energy and you're ready to work, I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
But I'm pretty sure,
I
like,
don't give a shit
people
what
that
you
work at
do.
dispensaries, do they get to smoke?
I think legal ones no.
Not know. Yeah, I know
No.
before motherfuckers was blowing
They
like,
probably think,
yeah,
"Oh yeah," but I feel like it's like legally it will really put them in like real trouble. You know what I'm saying? Just because of how anal they are
oh
about
shit, yeah, that's
certain
real.
things. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It's just like, all right, okay. Like,
that don't even make sense though, right? You
I
think
mean,
and then it's like when you a bud tender, you supposed to know the product.
mhm.
You supposed to know what's going on. So I mean, I know you be off, but shit, I might want to try something when I'm at work, when I go on break or
Right.
something like that. Though I think it should be open for people, especially people that work at dispensaries, to be able to
Yeah.
blow.
I mean, shit. I mean, I worked an event one time with a couple girls. I went there to support my friend's event. And one of our friends, she was just like, I need a nap. Like, I've been up all day. I've been smoking too much.
Uh,
Like I've been entertained. She's been entertaining. She was doing a lot before I got
right,
there. She's been doing
right,
a lot. So let's call her the day shift, me the night shift, okay?
right.
Because she's like, I need a nap. I was like, girl, like sit in this chair right here. Like just like you're safe around us. Like
Yeah.
go ahead, because you could tell she was struggling. So go ahead, sit right here. Like we put our jacket over her, whatever. Like go ahead and take your little nap. Like you've earned it. Like you've been.
Right.
She's not a go person, so it was just like okay, like take your little
So
nap.
what you saying? It might be a bad idea for some people.
Nah, because after that, we was selling like a motherfucker. Everyone was like, they're like, how is this? Well, you see her back here, right?
Right, right.
Pass the fuck out. They was like, yeah,
um,
give me some of that.
yeah,
Give
Pat,
me some of
I
whatever
want some.
she has. Whatever she has, give me that.
Man, I'm pretty sure it got to be some jobs out there where they, allow their people to smoke some bud and shit though, freely. If you out there, man, let us know. Tap in. You know what I'm saying?
Tap in, hit the like, subscribe, let us
Yeah, let
know.
us know.
If you're like, yeah, smoke it up.
So look, a big thing that's going on right now is
Mm-hmm.
the TikTok shit, right?
Mm.
They talking about the ban on TikTok. That's like a trending topic because it's billions of people on TikTok. A
Right.
lot of people making a lot of money on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of stuff going on over there.
TikTok took off when
Yeah.
they first came out. They definitely took off. I will say that.
And the House just passed a bill.
Mhm.
So it's going up to the Senate now. So it passed for the ban. So now it's going up to the
Mm.
Senate. So if it passes through the Senate, President Biden said he's going to sign off on the ban on TikTok.
Mhm.
So it's a lot. What TikTok did is they reached out to all the users and asked all the users to like express their concerns to the congressman and stuff like that.
Mm.
So like on the vote, I think the vote was yesterday. So
Okay.
this is something the Republicans and Democrats, kind of agreed on together.
Mm.
You know what I mean? A majority, because it was some that voted against,
So
the
give us a
ban.
little bit background of why they want to ban it.
So, from my understanding, they want to ban it because they saying China can get access. And
Mhm.
something you expressed that you told me, I didn't know that part though, that
Mhm.
with the COVID shit, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That it was a breach thin or something like that.
So I remember talking to one of my friends, right? And amongst our community, a lot of people were very much like anti-Trump when he was in office, right? Because of just his banter, like the man's an asshole. Whatever. Like it is what it is. But he is a businessman.
Yup.
That could be a good thing for us, that could be a bad thing for us. It just you don't know. You never know. It's like the
Mhm.
lesser of evils at that point. But because our he was of Mexican heritage and he was going so hard for Trump, it was just like, okay, well, like explain your reason. Explain your reason why. Like open up some brains over here, and he was just like, where a lot of people don't know we're at a war for information right now with China. And
Mhm.
who's been a huge ally for the US for a while. We everything you got says
Yeah.
made in China.
Man,
You know what I'm
yep,
saying? Like,
yep.
of course we're in debt with them.
Alibaba. You know what
Right.
I'm
You know what I'm
saying?
saying?
All that,
Right.
yeah.
So he was really big on and really vocal about like we're at a war with information, and a lot of people they were going back and forth about TikTok in the US because apparently it started in China, TikTok, and they were I don't know if they're using intentionally or whatever it is because you log into your iPhone, it always says, "Oh, are you able to give this information or privacy policy this just all across the board when you're
Yeah,
dealing with
cookies,
technology."
all that, yeah.
Right, whatever you want to call it. So, at that time when COVID started, apparently we were at a war with China, or from what I've heard, I don't even own a TV, y'all. I don't like I like
Allegedly, allegedly,
allegedly
you know what I'm
because
saying?
I find bliss in staying out the loop.
Right,
But
right.
anyways, so we were at this war for information. So at the time, government officials like up there and their immediate family were not allowed to have TikTok
Right.
because of what it was just getting into. So I don't know how far that goes or how true that might be, but that was the concern.
Mm,
So I was even skeptical. I'm like, I don't even like America having my information. Not that I'm anybody,
right,
but like, I'm like, let me not mess with TikTok, like, just cause
right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
Like, I don't know. So now that this comes up, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. But you know what's
Ooh.
crazy? Like the way I look at it is like if you think about Facebook,
Mhm.
Instagram, Snapchat, all these other social platforms,
Mhm.
they have your information also. They have
Mhm.
payment information,
Mhm.
name, some of them
Mhm.
have your address. It's a lot of
Mhm.
different things. Apple,
The precise location
yeah,
part.
yeah. Like the iPhones and shit, Apple, they have a
Mhm.
lot of your information and stuff though. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? So it's like to me, I was just like, shit, our information is already out there.
Right.
So I
They even
fuck
say
with
your
it. Yeah.
social. They even say your social security number don't mean shit nowadays.
Nah,
They're like,
man.
because you gotta go through I don't even know. I don't know. Like, y'all know me. I feel like everybody's lying.
Man.
Whoever lies the best at this point, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know.
Well,
Like,
it's always been a tradition that people have traded privacy for convenience, though. You know what I mean?
right.
That started with like, you look up something, they know what ads you're looking for, so they can serve you different things that might, cater to the stuff you want. So it's just gone further than that now.
Yeah, it's just like you go on
Right.
Google and you search up something at Home Depot, a drill.
Right.
Then you go on your Facebook,
YouTube, right.
you gonna see a
Mad
drill. Yeah,
drills.
you're gonna see a drill or yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So they already collecting data, but and they got and they got certain apps that also that just collect so much information. So it's like fuck it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Do what you gotta do. Fuck with what you want to fuck with. You know what I mean?
Right. I didn't get no apps on my phone till like a year and a half ago. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm like,
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, me personally, I didn't really start fucking with Facebook when I found out you could find people and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So I tapped into it. You know what I mean? So I
Mhm.
was looking for somebody and I
Right.
found who I was looking for though. But
Mhm.
but I wasn't really into it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And then like even with Instagram and stuff like that though. But when I got into Best Way to Smoke, that's what dug me more into it. So now,
Right.
I gotta be on it. I gotta fuck
Right.
with it.
I
You know
feel
what I
like
mean?
once the pandemic happened, it's like, okay, well, if you got a business, if you're trying to just make way in any way, like it just taught you to like the information stage really stepped in.
Yep.
Like it really stepped in. It was like, okay, you gotta be like, you gotta know how to move in a technical space to be relevant. Like you gotta
Yep.
have social medias to have your business relevant. You gotta like it was like almost like a have to. Like you're stepping into that like
Yep.
from that like field marketing or the word of mouth to actually placing yourself, like on the map
Yep.
as far as technology goes. So it's like it's hard because for people who are either introverted or who don't mess with stuff like that. Like I said a year and a half ago, that's when I was like, all right, like, I guess this is what I got to do.
Yep.
Cuz just trying to maneuver like
Yep.
anyway, everyone's like, "Oh, well, do you have an Instagram?" I'm like, "For real?"
That's what it is now. Oh,
you know?
give me your Instagram. I'm gonna give
Right.
you my
Like
Instagram. You know what I'm
right. Or
saying?
have you seen this? I'm the worst movie reference person. My friends hate me. They're like, "Oh, remember this movie?" Or they say like give some type of reference. I don't know what you're talking
Right,
about.
right,
Like I'm that person. Like
right.
and so I'll go through phases where I wanna hide under a rock. I'm like, I gotta cleanse from the world. Like it's too much.
Right.
You
And
know?
sometimes you need that, especially when you're dealing with it all the time. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So even I do that sometimes though. I'll tap out
Mhm.
for a day, but it don't be too long. It might be a day or so.
Yeah.
I'll tap out, you know what I'm saying? I probably
Mhm.
won't even look at it, you know what I mean?
Right.
But it'd be hard not to though, you know what I'm saying?
When you focus around it, it gets harder
Yeah.
not to.
Yeah.
Like it's like, dang, like you got a million people hitting you up, or you're like, okay, well, I got this going on in my business. I got to make sure I
Yeah,
post
you gotta
this
tap in.
or schedule that, or yeah, tap in with this person. So it makes it hard, but I don't feel like there's no like harm in taking those social media like cleanses. I think we were talking, me, you, and Cuzzo,
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
could you what was it, a year for
Oh yeah,
a
yeah,
couple
yeah. That was Cuzzo.
million?
He came with that question. Could you um I forgot forever amount of money though, but could you go without
I think
your phone?
I think he said like 2 million or a couple
It
million
was
or
it
something
was
like
social
that.
media. Yeah,
And I don't think he said a year. I think he said a month or he said something. It was like, hell yeah.
yeah. I can do that. Yeah, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. We've been in worse situations,
Man,
okay?
for real.
Where we
Hey,
couldn't have our phone. So I feel like like the early 90s and older, that don't phase us.
no, not at
We
all.
got
Yeah.
that good
Ask a
balance.
16-year-old, see what they
Oh yeah, they
say.
gonna go
They'd be like,
crazy.
huh?
They gonna
Right.
go crazy as a motherfucker.
When I
Like,
see like children, like I'm talking about like young kids, like navigating like iPads and phones and stuff, they can't even read, but they're on YouTube, like watching Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. I'm like, how are you doing that? Like,
mhm, for real.
I'm asking a 9-year-old to hook up my TV because I'm like, what is up with
Cause you don't know
this?
what's right.
Right, these kids, I
Yep,
don't even know,
yep,
you
yep.
know.
So look though, you just came back from Puerto Rico. Tell us
I
about your trip in Puerto
did.
Rico. And
My
did you
trip,
get some good green out there?
my trip was lit.
That's right. That's right.
Shout out to Puerto Rico. My trip was hella lit.
That's right.
Hella lit. It was such a good time. It was a relaxing time. You know, I visited numerous beaches, you know, just being in like the community. I ate.
That's
I
right.
ate. Like, listen, food is my love language for all y'all out there. Food is my love language. So getting me a good plate of
On the
just
real.
man, it was such a good time. It was such a good time. Um, my friend how the group I was with, they were drinkers though.
Okay.
Like, so for everybody who's like, you know, that one like stoner of the group or who's like, I prefer not to drink, you know, like drinking just like slows me down, you know? Like
Right.
I feel like I become a different person that I don't like. It makes me sluggish. I'm hella bloated. I'm like, I can't like I lasted half a day.
Right.
I was like, y'all can have this.
Right.
Y'all can
Right.
have where the butt at? You know? So I was like, needless to say, my homegirl's like, let's find you a dispensary. Like, there's one up the street, like, blah, blah, blah. So I walk in and I've heard they need a medical card. I didn't know the extent of it, but I was like,
Right.
let me just walk in and see what's up. So I was talking to the guy, like the guy comes out and he was just like, you know, explaining to me about the medical card. Not even gonna lie. I'm just like, what's your price?
Right.
Because like I don't have
Like,
one.
what's happening? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't have one. Like, is
Right.
there anything you could do for edibles? He's like, nah. I'm like, a joint. He's like, nah. I'm like, how much? And he's like, nah. I'm like, all right. You know, shout out to him for doing his job legally.
Right. Right. On
Because
everything.
like
On
I was
everything. You
I
was
was trying to
trying. Yeah.
swindle
You
that
was
motherfucker.
trying. Yeah.
I was trying to swindle the hell out of him. I'm like, nah, he wasn't budging. So shout out to him. Um, but we ended up like, you know, just exploring the island. And then we ended up in San Juan, which is the capital. So we were walking the street, you know, just exploring. And then we
Right.
ended up on the beach, you know. So me and my friends taking pictures on the beach, whatever it is. We must have just stood out like tourists the way we're taking pictures. Cause
Right.
this one guy
Right.
comes over. He's like, I got bracelets, I got lighters, I got you know, everything $5, everything $5. So my friend's like, oh, this is a cute bracelet, da da da, whatever. Like she's like talking to the man, and she don't speak Spanish like
Right.
at all. So I hear him asking her like, if y'all want weed too, like I got like he's just digging deeper and deeper. Like I got this, I got that, I got that. So I hear him ask her like, you know, if y'all like weed, and she's like, huh? And then I think my spidey senses were tingling because I'm like, what did this man just like? And then he kept asking her, and she just was like, huh? So I'm like, right here. So I go jogging down the beach, you know,
Right.
like right here.
Yeah. On everything.
Love supporting the locals.
Yeah, for
Listen, man,
sure.
love
Got to.
supporting the
Yeah.
locals. Like, no disrespect to the dispensary, but I love supporting the locals. It is what
Right.
it is. So I'm just like, let me see what you got because, you know what I'm saying? Like, so he's just like, you know, pulling it out, and it smelled decent. You
Yeah.
know, it smelled decent. We got to look at it, you know, touch it if we wanted to, you know. So I was like, okay.
So he had just like one strain.
He didn't. Come on, this is PR. They don't know what strain they got. They're like, I got bud.
That's it. That's it. That's
I
all.
got
Yeah.
bud. You know, like, and you know, I'm from the East Coast, so I'm used to that type of shit. Like, oh, we got bud. You
Right,
know,
right.
like diving into all
get
the
what you
details.
get,
Right, you
motherfucker,
get
you
what
know
you
what I'm
get. Does
saying?
it smell good? You gonna smoke it, okay?
Right.
So I was like, all right, this smell decent, whatever. And I was just in my head, I'm like, remember, you're not in Cali. It's gonna be some dirt. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be some dirt. But like, am I willing? I was like, all right, it's not too expensive. Sure, like let me get it, right? Expecting it to be some dirt, like expecting it to be like fairly decent,
Right.
But it was pretty good. It wasn't bad at
No
all.
seeds.
No, no C's, no
That's right.
sticks. Like it was pretty good. Like I got a good 4 joints out of it. So I'm like, okay, like
That's
all right,
right.
Cal, all right, Puerto Rico.
That's
So they
right.
done stepped their game up the last couple
That's right.
years. Let
Shout
me
out to
tell
Puerto
you. Shout out
Rico.
to Puerto Rico. Give them a round of applause for that. Cause listen, not even gonna lie, PR.
Yeah,
I was popping a little bit of shit, but it was pretty decent. And like I was like, okay, made my trip happy,
yeah.
So it was a good time. It was a good time.
That's right.
And
That's
then I
right.
got a couple of my friends to put the bottle down.
So you was also they smoked with you.
One of my friends did, yeah.
Okay, cool. That's what's
One of
up.
my friends
That's what's up.
did. The other one was a little nervous. I don't pressure,
Yeah.
but like,
Just hit this shit. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Stop bullshitting yourself.
Well,
You might like this better than liquor.
and I feel like
You know what I'm
she did.
saying?
I was like, come keep me company while I smoke this, because we both were getting sick off the alcohol and we weren't there that long. Like
Yeah.
we were just not feeling it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and just all of our like little symptoms or whatever the fuck, whatever you want to call it, I was just like, I already know I don't mess with alcohol no more. So I'm
Right.
like, yeah, I can't do this. Like, and we're just eating whatever,
Yeah.
eating
Yeah.
fried foods, just eating whatever. Like, nah. So she was just like, she smoked with me a couple times and she was like, oh man, like didn't even want to touch the bottle after that.
Man,
So
on the real.
it was a good time.
That's right. I'm glad you had fun.
Right. We turned up, we definitely like and you know what's funny after that? Like when we started going out to like the street and like meeting a bunch of the locals and stuff like that, like we went out dancing one night and we met a couple girls and I was like, all right, it's hot as hell in this mother like I'm going out to smoke some bud. Like
Right.
y'all wanna come? Or they were like, oh yeah, this girl opens her fanny pack. She's the whole plug. I'm like, where you been?
On everything.
She's like, I got wraps, I got this,
Got
I got
everything.
that. Shout out to you, Rosa.
Shout out Rosa.
Shout
You
out
know
to
what I'm saying?
Rosa. You
On
know
the
what I'm
real.
saying?
That's
I'll be
right.
back.
Hey, look, we want to thank y'all for tapping in with us. You know what I'm saying? Best Way to Smoke podcast, Big J.
Yes. C-Pop.
Hey, and Serpo Jr., we miss you guys.
Right.
Yes,
Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and tap in with us next time, y'all. Thank you for joining us.
Yep, Best Way. That's dope. That's
That was
dope.
good.
Hell yeah.